This is Elise. I'm Corinita with Ill Exotic, and this is Mental Health Monday. For the next few weeks, I'm going over the 8 dimensions of wellness. This week, I'm covering the topic of spiritual wellness. How I like to do the videos is I like to give a little bit of information and a little bit of my own experience, so that way people might be able to relate. But today, I'm just going to give you all the information, and then I'm going to give a little bit of my backstory and how it ties into spiritual wellness. Because with this one, I felt like I needed to tell a little bit more of my story to really delve into spiritual wellness for me. Spiritual wellness encompasses your values and beliefs, and it brings meaning and purpose to your life. It also includes participation in activities that align with your values and beliefs. Some activities might include journaling, meditation, volunteering, spending time in nature, doing yoga, going for a walk with your dog, something that's introspective or makes you feel connected with something outside of yourself. Also, what would be included is prayer in church. And I personally do not go to church, and I don't do prayer, so I can't speak to those two very much. And I probably won't talk about them too much, which is what actually I would expect if I watched a video about spirituality. So we're gonna look more at other aspects of spirituality. Spiritual wellness is important because it helps to find meaning in life events, and it can help to define individual purpose. If someone is doing spiritually well, they will feel in touch with their values. It might be easier to focus on gratitude. They might do a lot of self-reflection, have compassion for others, feel fulfilled, have a sense of purpose, or know what the purpose of their life is. They might have daily or weekly practices like meditating daily or praying before bed or attending church or mosque or whatever it is that they do to get in touch with their spirituality. Or even nature walks or just having time alone. And they'll probably feel very peaceful. You know, a lot of outside things won't seem as big a deal because they feel connected to something bigger than themselves. If someone is feeling spiritually unwell, they might find themselves thinking a lot of, why me? Why me? This is so difficult. Why me? They might find it hard to be thankful because they might not feel like there's a lot in life to be thankful for. Everything is really difficult and sparse. It's hard. They might find a lack of direction and meaning. They might not have any idea why they exist or what they want to do with their time here. They might have trouble feeling comfortable with themselves or with their existence. Maybe they feel out of body or they have trouble being in the moment. To help with spiritual wellness, you can do self-reflection. Think about your day or how you handled certain things during the day. Question why something someone said made you feel bad, even though you don't really care about their opinion. Or maybe take the time to reflect on big events that have happened in your life and have impacted you as a person. Sometimes really difficult things happen and we kind of just go on like nothing happened because the whole world just kind of moves on. But it's really important to take a step back and see what those events mean for you and how you can take advantage of the way that's changed you. For me personally, I don't believe everything happens for a reason, but I do believe that we can make our own reasons for why things happen. You can engage in spiritual practices, whether that means prayer, going for a hike, sitting calmly and being within yourself, meditating, whatever you do to get in touch with your spirituality. Do that regularly. Make a schedule for yourself. Really block out those times and really just take the time to get in touch with your spirituality because it's important. Take part in spiritual groups. This can mean church or a mosque or a temple. It can also mean meditation groups. It can mean group where people just talk about spirituality outside of organized religion. Just connecting with others on a spiritual level can help to bring out different parts of your spirituality and be in the moment. Do some activities that really take you zeroing in and stopping to think about this or that and just focus at the task at hand. Whether that be, lifting weights, painting. I know this is kind of similar to the last video I made, but it's important to spend time just being in your own body and doing things that connects you with your soul. From here, I'm going to tell a little bit about my story and my experience with spirituality. So, for me, I've been hearing voices since I was 10 years old. This got in the way of school, relationships, chores, sleeping. A lot of stuff in my life. It was really difficult to cope with, especially because I didn't have any resources when I was younger. I didn't see a therapist, a psychiatrist. I didn't talk to anybody about this. I just kept it to myself and tried to make do with what I had. So around the age of 24, I finally started going to a group called Special Messages. And as for special messages and hearing voices, this group is for anyone who hears voices, see things other people don't see, talks to aliens, the government is watching them, talks to angels, talks to God, anything that maybe you would feel uncomfortable mentioning in polite conversation, you can mention here. And people just love to hear about it. They want to hear your theories about life and the world. And it's just super fun. I really enjoy it. It's definitely one of my favorite groups to go to. I actually have my own Hearing Voices group, which is very similar to the Special Messages group. But anyways, before the group, like I said, everything was really hard for me. And people would say, why can't you do well in school? Why can't you do this? Why don't you sleep at night? Why don't you shower? Why don't you, all this stuff? Well, I had these voices in my ear, in my world, all around me, telling me stuff that maybe wasn't true, trying to persuade me to hurt myself, to hurt others. And it was really distracting. When I was trying to concentrate on stuff, it would just kind of get in the way. And it got to a point where I was just feeling like, why me? Why is this happening to me? It's uncomfortable. I hate this. And I felt like pity for myself. And I felt upset that this was happening to me. When I tried going to therapists or psychiatrists, they put a label on me, or they just wouldn't understand me. And it was not real. It was not real, and it wasn't normal. But in the group, it was completely normal, and it was interesting, and they wanted to know more. And the more I talked about it, the more I would start to relate certain voices to certain events in my life and what they're talking about to different things in my life. And being extremely vulnerable, I have a great-great-grandmother who was a curandera, which is like a healing, like a Mexican healer kind of witch. But I saw this movie called Crazy Wise, and it talked about how in some tribes that if a child began hearing voices at a young age, that meant that they are going to be like a shaman. And it really opened my eyes to seeing that this could be like a spiritual experience. And I needed to just listen and understand and communicate back. Things really changed for me when I started to see it as a strength in myself. And instead of fighting it let it lead me, but also not let my voices trick me, because they can be tricksters too. If I listen, I can understand that actually this thing that I felt like, whatever, it's not a big deal, it really is a big deal, and I'm not confronting it. Or I can see that there's certain things that, like, the voices kind of fall off when I'm doing, because I can really focus, because it feels like it just feels right. And so spirituality, it doesn't just mean, using religion or prayer to, pray your mental illness away or something. It can mean whatever you need it to mean. Whatever you think your mental health struggles or experiences or any of that, whatever you think it means, that's what it means. Because this is all your experience and no one else's, and it's no one else's place to judge. Yeah, I just wanted to share my own experience with spirituality. And personally, for me, meditation helps a lot. Going to groups helps a lot, and just talking openly about my voices, and also spending time in nature helps. This stuff is real. And if you feel completely disconnected from spirituality, like, oh, I'm not religious, like, I used to feel like that too. I used to feel like, oh, I'm not religious, I don't believe in God, I don't have spirituality. But that it's so much more than that. And I really urge you to really dive in and do some research and see how you can connect with yourself, your soul, and with the world around you, because it is an important part of the 8 dimensions of wellness. And it takes balancing all 8 dimensions to find wellness. If you liked this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you do for your spiritual wellness. Elise, wake up. What do you do for your spiritual wellness? She says she naps. You can catch this video series, Mental Health Monday, in rotation with Motivational Monday with Josh, and Song React Sunday every Sunday. And so yeah, keep coming back, keep learning with me, and yeah, leave a comment about anything, really. I'm just so excited to hear about anything, any good, bad, pushback. I want to hear it all. So yeah, thank you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Love you.